Hi buddy, welcome back to your point of the game of League of Legends. I'm the Strategy Professor, doing a little Zyra action here again. We're having a Zyra revival here. I think the new items actually help her out quite a lot. A lot more than I thought they would. God, I'll tell you what, those barrels are really annoying. Oh, go, 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 go. I accidentally clicked on a minion. Interesting. Okay, sure.
Things aren't always what they seem.
Alright. One of these. I'm gonna really try to crush him. I'm going for the throat. I'm gonna go for a book here. Typically, I would go for a ruby crystal to go ahead and get my forward item pretty quickly, but since they're out of summoners, I'm just gonna go ahead and go for the throat here. I thought he was going to try to E back onto me. I wasn't sure what his game plan was. I had my flash ready and pots ticking, and he just, like, walked up and died. I mean, I don't know. He had a chance. He could have just walked out, like, when he got into that bush. I mean, I maybe could have got him, like, with a QW. I wasn't going to flash for it, though. I don't think I knew where the jungler was. He probably could have gotten out if he really wanted to. She's gone. Yeah, I should have warded a bit higher. It probably would have been too late, though, because she just... I mean, she didn't have any summoners. Even if we played, like, right here, he probably still could have caught us. We just gotta be a bit more cautious. Who got the kill? Well, he did. That's fine. Whatever. It's not great, but it's better than Ezreal getting it.
Wait until my sins take root.
Dude, I miss those North Carolina. I grew up in North Carolina in the foothills. Like, not like all the way grew up, but I spent a lot of my childhood up there because my grandma is from Murphy, North Carolina, which is like pretty deep in the woods. Like 45 minutes outside of Murphy, down in southwest North Carolina. So I really like the Appalachian Mountains. And just that culture, too. I don't know. It's, you know, it would make fun of the accents and stuff, but it's really friendly people. Like, in my mind, it's just like it's really good people. For the most part, in my experience. Really kind. At least they always were to me, for the most part. Oh! Godfist with the camp.
Such a busy world.
Dude, will you please quit playing around with him? If he Qs you, like, it's gonna be a problem.
Wait until my sins seeds take root. Reveal what is hidden.
Alright, when he goes up for one of these CS, I'm going to see if I can get him here. One more. There we go. Get that Thunder Ward going. Now, he still might be here. We gotta be careful. We can probably turn this around and just straight kill him, though. Double Doran's Ash, huh? I guess that's better than single Doran easy. Like, what? It's 8 minutes into a game.
Things aren't always what they seem.
I might rush the Banshee's Veil, actually, this game, just because of Gragas. So good against him. Some more Thunderlord's action. I shouldn't be using 2 plants on that. I think 1 would have been sufficient. But 2 makes sure that I get the Thunderlord proc off of him. I just want to make sure he goes down like 10 CS. Whenever he backs. He really, really wants to back. I can't go to that tri-bush. I'm too scared of Lee.
The harvest is upon us.
Alright. Okay, good. So he's gonna be down 17 CS here. I'm cool with that. I would have at least gone Cole if I was Ashe. Alright, so we're gonna grab this, gonna grab some boots.
Such a busy
Alright, looks good.
world.
And yeah, we're probably gonna go Banshees first here. Just for protection. The arrow. Yeah, the standard Ashe. But you know what? I'm Zyra. I'm feeling good. Like, I'm feeling like Zyra can do a lot. Especially with this ELO, this patch. Like, I might have to redo some of my patch notes. I just released a video on it today. I might have to do an updated version. And after I actually play it version.
The forest holds many surprises.
Putting 1 there to make sure I don't get shanked. And then, you know what? Come here. I'm actually just going to ward over this right here. Because I'm not going to be able to hold that tri-bush. They're going to pink it. Okay, Lee's bot. Yeah, I'm going to have to come around this way. Then I'm going to pink our bush. Especially so we can't get teleported on from behind. Lee's almost certainly going to be bottom. Like, they may have looked up and seen that I'm like Platinum 5 right now or something, and they're just camping us. That's totally possible also. But we need to be careful because we know Lee is down here. Is he over there? Oh, oh, oh. Get him, get him, get him. I've got ult. Ult him, ult him. Okay, thank you. Wow, he's moving quick. Does he have Ghost? Oh, dude, don't face check Gragas. Come on, man. I know he's support, but, like, come on. Well, that's a really annoying dragon to give him, because now they're going to heal through a lot of my poke. You're going all AP Gragas, too. Like, all AP. I've built Sightstone on top before with Nautilus. I mean, Ruby's Sightstone was actually, I mean, it was okay with, like, Zyra Portal last winter with Gragas. I mean, it wasn't, like, super OP, but I legit, I mean, I think if it's on a tank, Yeah, I mean, why not? Because you're not, like, typically trying to do a lot of damage. Ruby Sightstone at least gives you 500 health, and I think that Vision could be really good. I mean, most of the time you do Vision with support, and you should be doing it with the jungler, with trackers, I think. If you're doing it right. But, for real? Okay, well, they're gonna get top, whatever. As long as I can hold this. I think I can. Seriously, 5 bot? I mean, they could have gotten 2 towers. I guess they're getting rift. They should have just gotten 2 towers and then rift, I think.
So much more.
No, dude, you gotta clear the lane first. This seems like that's gonna be kind of a waste. Yeah, they're just gonna kill it, man. Like, it's gotta be on a clear lane. No, 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 no. Yeah, that was a damn waste.
The forest holds many surprises.
Here, oh, did I do? No, he did that. Interesting.
Such a busy.
Come on, guys. Freaking Water Drake. God. Well, they are definitely turning around these last 5 or 10 seconds. Let me see if she goes for this pink.
Venture off the beaten path.
Come on, go for the pink.
Wait until my seeds take root.
Get out of here, you coward. You don't want none. Oh, what?
An ally has been slain.
Guys, hello, like, Infernal Dragon. What, like... That's twice now she's arrowed when nobody's in range. I don't know if she understands that arrow really doesn't do a lot of damage if no one's close. All right.
My prey thinks it's so clever.
He has been slain.
Such a busy world.
Banshee's Veil saved me on that kick. It didn't save me, but it let me keep going. Did Ezreal get out? Oh my god, for real? For realsies? Oh, almost had him. That little weasel.
Just a harmless flower.
Alright, I'm gonna get Sorks or Mobies. We'll get Sorks.
Venture off the beaten path.
And then we'll get the forward item here in a second. We already had the Queen's Tribute, I'm pretty sure, yeah. God, he has no defense. Just got Glass Cannon Garen. It's hot. Really? They have that warded? I could flash and kill the Syndra, but we're not going to get anything off of it. Like, in general, I don't like using my flash unless we're getting an objective. It's just going to be a kill on Syndra, and it's like, who cares? This flash is so important on Zyra, like, because you don't have very many escapes. Give a little vision here for... a little momentary vision for a bat, because why not? Alright.
Wait until my seeds take root.
Okay, so now we need to start getting Leandries. Typically, you would want to go Leandries first, but Gragas is so dangerous, and so is Syndra. Like, just having that Banshee's shield is so nice. This is not a very, like, this was not a traditionally, like, a good composition for Zyra to be in.
Such a busy world.
Or, like, to be against, I should say. I mean,
None will escape my grasp. The forest
Enemies double kill.
Promising garden. Things aren't always what they seem.
15 flat for the mask, right? Okay, I'm gonna sell this. Whatever, they can have that. He's got teleport. I'm just gonna come down here. No one wins Mundo versus Mundo. Whoever gets the Executioner's Calling on the Mundo wins first. We should have done it faster. Lee had a good crack at it, sorta, kinda. Okay, fine, whatever. Let's just go bottom. I mean, the reason that you go middle is they could counter by just running it up mid. They should have that, right? Oh, God. We should have someone splitting. Oh, he wants to E forward, huh? This guy likes to E forward. Yeah, Sejuani's just a beast, man. Like, Sedge is great. They're nerfing her, like, for sure, next in the coming patch. Ah, I feel like we could have forced that, but whatever.
Things aren't always what they seem.
Alright, we'll go Void Staff next. Dude, use it on Lee. Does he have a... He's got a damn locket.
Things aren't always what they seem.
Nah.
Has been slain.
A promising garden.
Well, it's a Zyra revival. Zyra's been good before, and I think she's good again. Rhylize is a bad item because it's not enough damage. Alter? Alter? Too expensive, it doesn't have penetration on it. You don't need the slow, because you've already got a slow on your E-plant. And it's like, it was a good item like 2 years ago before they changed it multiple times. But now there's just better options. Like, Banshee's Veil is awesome on Zyra now. And Leandri's plus Void Staff has been good for a while. This feels really awkward. Let's just... Can get the Ezreal? God, these kids. Alright. Alright, Silent. I mean, it's fun. Like, I had fun with it. I would need to try out the build a little bit more.
An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, I do think that the Banshee's Veil and this new Eye of the Watchers make Zyra, like, way better.
So much more to see. The forest holds many surprises.
An ally has been slain.
A promising guard.
Get the thing. Yeah, that speed boost.
Venture off the beaten path.
Oh, Quint's coming for me.
Such a busy
We're getting
world.
vulgar up in here. Alright. It's from Eye of the Watchers, so that's the new Queen's Tribute, which I really underestimated quite a lot. I mean, to be fair, look, they made a million changes in the patch notes, like a lot of changes. And so when I did my tier list video, you know, I hadn't actually played a game. I had just, like, recorded it. Actually, I think I had one night's worth of games. but I didn't have a lot of experience with the patch. Well, it turns out Queen's Tribute is really good on some of these champions that are historically kind of susceptible to getting picked off later in the game. So on Fiddlesticks and Zyra in particular, it's great. So every time you use a charge where you would normally get gold, those 3 charges, you get a 50% move speed for 1 second. And it can stack. So if you use all 3, then you get a 50% movement speed for 3 seconds. So you're really, really fast. And it comes up, like, really quickly, too. It's, like, up every, like, 10 seconds or something. So it's a lot of speed. And the fact that you get Banshees now, instead of Abyssal, is really nice. That extra bubble just protects you from so many engages. You can't get blitz hooked anymore. You can't get just picked off by anything, hardly. Annie's Tibber. They just right here, guys.
So much more to see.
No, guys.
Venture off the beaten path.
Where's Lee? Oh, Lee's back there, damn it.
An enemy has been slain.
Was Lee... Like, how did Lee get around those wards? I didn't even see him for a while. Was he just, like, hanging out near Baron because he knew we'd go for it? Pretty clever if he was. But yeah, these items, like, I think it's time for a Zyra revival. I know some people will be happy about that, but... Or some people might be sad. I don't know. I think Zyra is very popular on the channel. People like it when I play AP supports a lot of times. I know people like Janna and stuff too, and I will still play some Janna, but... You know, that's the thing about supports. There's just kind of different seasons. It's very rare that all of them are viable. I think that Janna and Soraka and Lulu can still be really good. Tanks are still kind of in a rough spot. But... Yeah, those items, man. Kill the Illuminati Ezreal. We got him. We got him sniped. We sniped him out. So yeah. How are we looking? I think that should probably be it. What are we looking at? 145? Yeah. Yeah, that's the trick with, that's the new thing they changed about. Like, basically, I used to get Abyssal Scepter on Zyra because it had the extra damage on it. But now you get Banshees, which has the damage, and a really good protection spell. And CDR. Like, CDR is very good on Zyra. You just can't itemize into much of it most of the time because you need penetration. But this gives really nice ability power, nice cooldown reduction, pretty good magic resist overall, which is okay. If you're going to get hit by stuff, a lot of times it's magic, like AoE damage, if you're positioning correctly as Zyra. But that spell shield is so huge, like I said. I mean, it's just massive. Like, it stops blitz. There was a time in there where Lee kicked somebody into me, and it stopped it. So I could just keep going and kill him. So that Banshees, if you've never played in a meta where people picked Banshees, it's been a few years. That item is very, very almost oppressive when it's in the meta. Like, it just completely shuts out some champs. Like I talk about in my new tier list video. Like, I knew Banshees was going to be good. I just didn't think about, like, Banshees plus the new item on Zyra, how much safer that makes her. Because that's really the thing. As I've said before, she's very dangerous. Or she has historically been a very dangerous champion in the mid to late game because she doesn't have any escapes and she can just get completely shanked by assassins. but getting this extra 50% movement speed on top of having the protection from blitz hooks, you know, Syndra stuns, just all kinds of random anti-flash tibbers, Malphite, Wukong. Well, it doesn't really protect against Wukong if he Qs onto you first and then does it, but it protects against a lot of things. Like Zed just running up and ulting you, at least he has to hit you with a Q first, you know, that type of thing. So it's a lot of stuff that really adds up. So it's a very, very good item. So yeah, I think it's good. I like it. It gives you some more build paths, a little bit more flexibility. I like Fiddlesticks right now too. He doesn't have as much kill pressure in lane, but he does have more crowd control, so against assassins, Fiddlesticks is probably a little bit better. But it's kind of the same story with Fiddle, in that the Banshees protects him, so you can just ult like right in the middle of a team fight if you want to, and they can't really like CC you anymore. It makes it a lot harder to do that. Like not like in the middle of a huge crowd, but like you can do it where they can see you visibly if you have to. And yeah, and then the speed up, you know, when you hit him with the ult, and he gets like that extra 50% movement speed for 3 seconds. That rumor has it that's pretty good with a Fiddlesticks ult. So yeah, I like Fiddle if they have a lot of assassins. Like if they have like a Fizz or a Zed or something, I think Fiddle's really good. But Zyra is just your classic, just mow them down in the lane, especially at like gold and lower. She just crushes people. And since we're getting matched with low gold people, it makes sense we would go to that. So that's it for the games tonight. Let's recap how we did. I think we did pretty well overall. Yeah, we got 3 victories in there with Zyra, which is good. I feel like I've played more than that tonight, but we played Flex a little bit earlier because we had a disconnection problem in this Maokai game. So Maokai, yeah, I mean, he's okay. He's okay. I would still rather just honestly run like Zyra or Fiddlesticks or something if you want damage. And if you want tanks, you know, wait for a few patches. I don't know. I mean, tanks are still okay, but anyways, so yeah, I think that Zyra might be the ticket again. It might just be time to dust her off. I mean, this is nothing new. Like, if you watch the first half of this, if you're a new subscriber, I'll be like, whoa, he's playing Zyra, but she's my most played champion by far. Well, not by far. Janna's caught up to her at this point. But these two are the dynamic duo of me gaining elo. Everything else is losing me elo so far this season. But these two, now they're very, very different, and they're good in like with different play styles. But they are my saviors this semester. So I've played a lot of Zyra, a lot, in January and February, and then it was March and April with a lot of Janna, with a few of these other jokers sprinkled in there. But I do think Quint is still really good in certain matchups. I think Nami is a lot better than I anticipated. I know my percentage is not very high with her, but I think it's better now than it was. Fiddle is definitely better. That's a low sample size, but he's pretty good now. So I think Zyra and Fiddle, they're up there. I mean, Zyra might be S-class this patch, honestly. She's like right up there with Janna. They're different styles, but... And Lulu's still pretty good too. But yeah, I think Zyra's back. She's making a comeback. And I played a lot of Zyra in the past too. Like season 3 in particular, I played like 400 games of Zyra. So I'm no stranger to playing Zyra. And Fiddlesticks. Like when they're both on, they're both on. A lot of times it seems. Because they're both like good AP supports. But they're different. Like Fiddlesticks is good against assassins, and Zyra is like better at poke in the early game. It just kind of bursting people out later. So the two, often if one of them's really good, the other one is too. It just depends. But anyways, let me see if there's any final questions here. Oh, did I say this semester? This Nah, I can't, man. I promised this student of mine that I would help her revise an essay for another class. I end up doing that. I'm too nice with that kind of stuff. Sandra always tells me, my wife always tells me, like, you do way too much for these students. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I do it. So there's this one kid that I still meet with. I just met with him last week. and I was helping him with passive voice in his like German class. It's like his German, like they were writing in English. It was like a German film class or something. Anyways, he's a really nice guy. But yeah, I hook him up. I met with him probably like 6 times this semester to help him with his essays. And then this girl, I'm helping her with her kinesiology essay or something like that. So I like helping students. I've helped students get into law school, med school, help them with their applications, you know, like 4 years after I've had them and things like that. So I hook them up. I'm friends with probably like maybe about 10 of them on Facebook. I don't really get on Facebook that much, but just over the years, I never accept a friend request while I have them in the class and I'm responsible for their grade, because that might look like a conflict of interest. But you know, afterwards, sure. No, I cannot speak German. He wrote it in English, and I was just reading what he said. It was basically just grammar. Like, I wasn't helping him with content. But he said that his, you know, his teacher was just a grammar fanatic, and, you know, he wanted me to help him figure out how to make his essay look a little more tidy. Hey, what's up, ex-Darkliner? Yeah, I wish I spoke German. I don't, though. Hey, I love German philosophers. Continental philosophers are some of my favorite. Who doesn't like Nietzsche? No, I don't speak I don't speak Dutch or Deutsch. What is? No, I don't. Oh, that's German, I think. No, I obviously don't speak it. But yeah, I like definitely more of a Nietzsche kind of man rather than like Foucault or something. I mean, Foucault's okay. They're different eras, but I like kind of the German idealists. It's been a while since I've studied and read a lot about them, but lots of great thinkers in Germany over the years. Although I guess Foucault kind of borrows pretty heavily from Marx, but almost everybody does. Either with him or against him. Yeah, Heidegger was pretty cool too. I can't remember much about Heidegger, but I remember he was cool. I remember kind of an image that I had to draw on a board in my critical theory class for Heidegger. The like being in itself. I had to do a presentation on it a long time ago. It's just I never reference that stuff in essays or just in everyday life. Schopenhauer is the man. Now Schopenhauer, I don't think he was German. I don't remember where he was from, but I like Schopenhauer a lot. Damn it, why am I breaking up? Hegel. Yeah, Hegel's the man. The anti-Kant. Soraka's good. Maybe low for the professor. That's true. I mean, I try to, you know, I know a lot of people like gold is high, but and it's fine. I try not, you know, I try not to disparage low elos too much, which is fine. But I do think that Zyra. I mean, I think it's a combination of I'm playing against lower ranked people. At least it feels like I am. I mean, let me see. I feel like these are low gold and silver people that I'm playing against. Well, some of them, that guy was gold 1. Now the Ash on my team was silver 1. So it's like mid golds. It's like gold 2, gold 3. This Zyra is just freaking tearing them up, though. I really do think that the Banshee's Veil, like, in this item, I can't express the move speed, like, how useful that is once you get the tribute. Around, like, 20 minutes or so. Yeah, this game, the Trist was silver 1. TF was silver 1. Gold 5, Master Yi. This TF game. Silver 2. Riven was actually doing alright, though. Honestly, I can't tell the difference between a lot of these silver ones and gold ones, like, if we're being honest. Or some of the platinum ones that I played with last week. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Man, that makes me want to go read some, Oh, yeah, I love Sart. Now, it's been a long time. I was actually was one of my undergraduate majors. I majored in English, philosophy, and religious studies. So I had a triple major. And, but it's been a long time since I've read, like, really read some good philosophy. You know, that was probably 10 years ago or something. No, I had one critical theory class. Actually, I had, yeah, one critical theory class where we touched, not on them, but, like, on, we did talk about Heidegger. I mean, we talked about some critical theorists, but, yeah, Sartre's pretty good. I mean, I can't remember a lot of the distinctions between Sartre and some of the other existentialists. Like, I don't remember a lot of the finer points. We had to read his Nausea, which was interesting. Once again, I was like 10 or 11 years ago. I like Camus' The Stranger. He's not a philosopher of sorts, but he's a literature person that embodied a lot of the similar ideas. I started playing ranked, still unranked, and I keep losing as mid or sub. Any tips? Well, they're different positions. I think sup is good. The thing about sup is there's not as many hard counters at support if you play the right supports as there are in the mid lane. I think mid lane's really rough. Like, it's very, very matchup dependent. Like, in support, even if it's like kind of sort of a rough matchup, you can work your way around it oftentimes. In mid lane, you just get crushed if it's a really bad matchup. Like, there are bad matchups for support, but I would say just narrow your champion pool, play like 3 champions, practice watching the mini-map, like, don't overextend, don't get ganked. Like, just focus. The main thing when you're learning, I think, is try to die 3 times or less every game. Like, that's where you need to start, is keep it to 3 or less. Now, if you're playing a dangerous support, like with Zyra, you know, I'll die a little bit more sometimes, but in general, you want to try to keep it to 3 or less, and then go from there. Once you figure out that you know you're making it, you're not dying a lot, you're making good decisions, then you can start being a little bit more aggressive. I mean, some people will say be aggressive first and then learn like how not to die later, but I think that not dying is very important. So, you know, with a lot of supports, you should definitely have less than 4, and you should, like, ideally look for about 3 deaths or less per game. That just means that you're being safe, you're being cautious. Be careful when you ward. Think about, like, what the enemy might be doing. Like, think that they are actually people making decisions, and try to think about, well, what are they thinking right now? What are they trying to do? I actually do, if you haven't watched my my video, I just made a video about this for kind of newer players. I mean, it's good for experienced players too, but it's how to carry a support. It's a pretty nice overview. I have a bunch of different tips that I suggest. So I would definitely check this out. So, understanding compositions, why people misunderstand win lane, win game, how to manage a lane, respecting the game state, understanding shot calling, and the importance of vision. And I've got a good Google Doc here for it too. But yeah, I think that, you know, if you even just reading over this Google Doc here, I think can be very helpful. I recommend watching the video. It is, I think it's like an hour long or something. But even if you have to skip around a little bit, at least skim this Google Doc, and it'll give you lots of really good tips, especially if you're nearer to the game. But like I said, there's a lot of veterans that don't do a lot of this stuff. I, frankly, don't do all of this stuff all of the time. Like, these are just, you know, what you should be doing, but it's hard to do them all. But, you know, it's like broad stuff that's sort of philosophical, you know, that can help you out. So it's just good ideas to keep in mind. I don't tell you exactly what to do, like play this champion, build these items type of thing. Although I have that too in my tier list. But I think this is a really good sort of overview for how you can succeed. As support. As mid lane, you know, I'm not an expert in mid lane. I can tell you, you should just learn how to play Kassadin and play him every game, because he very rarely gets picked and he very rarely gets banned. And he's by far the best mid laner right now. And he's not really that hard to figure out. Like, just don't die in the laning phase, and basically you just murder everyone later. So I think if you just learn how to play Kassadin, if you want to play mid lane, Kassadin and Anivia Okay, both of them are almost always left open, and both of them are extremely strong right now. They're different play styles. Anivia, I think, would be a really good one if you're learning. People say she's on the harder end to play, but I think she's pretty forgiving. She says you're always relevant, even if you die a lot with Anivia. And you're safer against assassins because they have to kill you with the egg also, which, you know, if you're under tower, it's hard for people to do that. So I think she has a built-in kind of like safety system where she has really good wave clear later, even if you're behind. She's, you know, really hard to kill because she gets tanky-ish items. And she gets the egg. And she does just a ton of damage later. And there's no skill shot. Well, I guess her Q is a skill shot, but, you know, you can still do a lot of damage even with her ult plus her E. So I think she's pretty, I would say Anivia. Yeah, I started late. Well, I don't have class tomorrow. My classes are done for the semester. I finally graded most of their final projects. It was pretty good. We won a lot of games. You should check it out. You know, we're back on the Zyra train, I think. We've hopped back on the Zyra train and some fiddlesticks. I think the AP supports are a lot better than I thought they were. Because I really underestimated just how good that movement speed is and how good Banshees is. I think, you know, I would recommend Anivia. She's very rarely picked or played. Great wave clear, she's okay. She's safe early, and she's a powerhouse later. I mean, Kassadin is extremely good later on too, but he's a bit more dangerous. Like, you have to be careful when you go in and when you don't. I think Anivia is probably better. Yeah, and you just want to push. I mean, that's all. Like, push and don't die to ganks with almost anybody. Once you hit level 6 with Anivia, just walk up to the wave, press R until all of the minions disappear, turn it off, and then just go ward. Like, just kind of chill until you're level 6. I guess that's a pun with Anivia, but, you know, just hang out until level 6. Just get you a tier and then start working a Rod of the Ages as soon as you can. And you just hang out. As soon as you hit 6, you just walk up to the minion wave, press R for like 3 seconds. Everything dies, and then you turn it off, and you just go walk and ward like right here and right here. And just put a pink ward like either here or here. And if you want to, you can roam. Or you can just hang out and just keep pushing the waves over and over again. In the meantime, if your jungler's doing stuff, you can walk over, press R on the wolves, or press R on the raptors, kill all of them, get some extra farm, walk back to middle, press R on the wave, everything dies. Just over and over again. You just keep pushing it into their tower, and then just either ward, or you can roam if you want to. Yeah, she just exerts so much pressure, and if you're, like, having a bad time, like, let's say your team, they take out the bottom tower, and they take out the top tower, and the other team's trying to push in, it's not happening versus Anivia. They trying to push in your tower, just press R, all the minions are dead, boom, they can't siege anymore. Like, it's so annoying to try to siege through an Anivia. It just doesn't happen. So you push really well, and you siege really well, and you scale really well, and do a ton of damage later in the game. And you're relatively safe to assassins, like I just explained. So, I mean, I think she's wonderful. Like, I don't know why people don't play her. Like, Kassadin's better because he can just completely roam around and just absolutely murder, like, everybody in the game. But Anivia is still, like, really, really strong. She's not going to get as many kills, probably. But she's a lot safer and just has a lot of utility for your team. Like, they can't team fight you, really. Like, if they try to come up and fight you in a team, you just drop your R. And then just every 3 seconds, spam your Ice Sickle for, like, 1,000 damage. Or just stun the whole team with your Q. Like, she's so annoying. If you've never played against an Anivia, she's so annoying, and she's relatively low skill cap. Like, it's really hard to mess her up. I would personally go teleport flash on Anivia so you can make teleport plays after you push in, but I mean, let me pull her up here. I'll show you what I'm talking about since we're just kind of chilling in the after party here. Professor's after party, answering questions. I don't know, I can't make a jingle out of it. But yeah, the bird. The bird is the word. You want this bird. I honestly, I think maybe people just think she's boring. I don't know why I honestly don't know why people don't play her middle. So if you die, basically you get a free, like, Guardian Angel. So if you're gonna die, try to be under tower. That helps you against assassins quite a lot. And then, yeah, your Flash Frost, kind of a slow moving. You can stun them if you press Q against. This is like one of the really skillful things about her. There's not a lot of super skill involved, but it's a pretty good stun. You just throw it at them. It's slow. If you hit them with it, if it touches them, press Q again, and it'll break. So this can actually hit them twice. So that means that deals 320 damage with an 80% ratio when it's maxed out. You don't max this. You max your E first, but as soon as you hit them with that, then you hit them with your E. It makes this do double damage. That's 300 damage with a 1.0 ratio on a 4-second cooldown. If they walk through your Glacial Storm or if you hit them with Flash Frost. So, and even if you just spam the normal one at them, like, it's not a ton of damage, but it's okay. I mean, it doesn't cost, I guess it does kind of cost a lot at the end. But then you have a wall where this can be tricky to use correctly, you know, in a super optimal way, but you can just get people off of you with the wall, which is pretty nice. Now, if you're like next leveling with the Nivea, you can really do some great stuff with this wall. Like if Lee Sin's trying to go in, you can W like right on him in midair and it'll knock him out of the air, or like a Zack's trying to engage, you can knock him out of the air with it. So it's got some pretty neat utility to it. This is her signature thing. Glacial Storm. You just get the storm going, and it's on a really low cooldown, 6 seconds. Just massacres everything. So it just clears everything out really quickly. So, like I said, you just push, 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 push. Anyone tries to engage onto you, you break up the team fight with Crystallize. Drop your ult down and just start spamming Frostbites for like 1,000 damage. The only female champ that doesn't wear clothes. Hey, we don't know if she's wearing clothes. She could be wearing like icicles or something. I mean, she's a bird. Surely there's some kind of other female champion. Like Nidalee in cougar form doesn't wear clothes, I don't think. Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai doesn't wear clothes. Rek'Sai's a woman. Yeah, Froggen is the probably the most famous Anivia player. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously Romeo, but I think that you can still be, like, you can mess up the wall a lot in Bronze and still be really good with Anivia. Just because you can stall out games long enough for the enemy to throw. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. People just think she's boring, you know. Whatever. Getting a lot of elo is fun to me. I have fun with it. Yeah, I think teleport's kind of the standard. Yeah, I mean, Kassadin, let me pull up Kassadin here. This is why Kassadin's overpowered. I've talked about Kassadin before. He's the most overpowered champion right now, I think. He's like up there with Sejuani. He's the most overpowered non-tank for sure. And people still, I ban him every game. But people still don't pick him or ban him as often. But yeah, the thing about Kassadin, I've explained this in the past. Now, he's a little bit more dangerous, but all 4 abilities do damage, and they all have, well, at least 3 of them have a really high ratio, which is insane. And I've done the math on it. I think I do this in my like 7.8 or 7.7 video. I don't remember. But it's a 0.7 ratio on each ability. And that's on an auto attack with his W. Okay, so his basic attacks do a little bit more. Okay, so it's just 1 auto attack empowered. But it's a ton. That's actually a 0.8 because you naturally get a 0.1 anyways. So that's pretty beast. I mean, if you have like 200 AP, let's say that you're level 9 and you have 200 AP with Kassadin. Pretty, not a ton. A decent amount. You've got this maxed out, and then you've got like, I think, 2 points. 2 points in Force Pulse at this point, and 1 point in Netherblade. So you would do, let's see, 140 plus 185 plus 140 plus 40 plus 105 plus 140 plus, I have one level in this, 80 plus 60 plus, let's say you have at least, you know, 200 mana, or not 200 mana, like 1,000 mana, that'd be 20 plus 20 here plus 10 plus another 10, so you have 200 plus just like 2 auto attacks, because this is an auto attack reset, so you can attack then auto at level 9. 85 twice, that's plus 170. $1,120 damage from one rotation off of Kassadin. And all of these are low, like low cooldown. Like, well, I guess 9 is not super low, but pretty low cooldown. And you can do all of that almost instantly. You just blink on them with Riftwalk, or you can Q them first, blink on them with Riftwalk, attack, auto attack, reset, Netherblade, Force Pulse. Boom, combo done. You know, like 1 second. Almost 1,100 damage, which is 200 AP. And then, oh, on top of that, by the way, he gets a 15% reduction from all magic damage, and he would get a shield for 220 damage. That's blocked. And he naturally takes an additional 15%. So you can see how really quickly this gets ludicrous with him. Like, if you get to 300, you know, and you get more levels on all these spells, it really quickly can go to a full rotation doing 1,500 or 2,000 damage. Like, he almost literally can start one-shotting people, especially squishies. And he builds pretty tanky. So that's his thing. And he basically gets a free flash, you know, every 4 seconds or something like that. So trust me when I say that he's ludicrous right now. Yeah, that's the thing. Davis has it figured out. It's because he has 4 abilities that all do damage and have really, really high ratios. Like 0.7 is high on a lot of APs, unless it's like an ult or something. You know, a lot of APs will have like a 0.5. You know, they'll have a 50% AP ratio. And if you're new to the game, what that means is if you have 100 AP, then it's going to add 70 damage. So a lot of AP abilities do not give like the full value. They give you like a certain percentage of the value. Release Kassadin and Zinzao. Yeah, seasons 3 and 4, if you've never been in a Kassadin meta before, it's a Kassadin meta right now. People just don't know it yet. But I remember the horror of season 3, yeah. Anivia is still really good too. I mean, Anivia might be able to beat him up. I don't know. Like, it's a tough one with those two. Because Anivia does, like, insane damage also, but... yeah, you're going to see Kassadin in pro play, probably. Like, there's just not good matchups. Like, who's a... you know, the only people you can really play in a Kassadin... I mean, you can do, like, the hard counters, like the Pantheon, maybe Talon, but I still think it's going to be a problem. You know, I guess pros, like, if someone picked Kassadin... I mean, maybe, like, Orianna, maybe Cassiopeia or something, but... pro players are just going to camp for it. I mean, they're just going to have the jungler sit on the middle lane until he's level 6. So, I don't know. I think, yeah, if they don't change him, I think you'll see him in pro play. At least somebody will bust him out. Anyways, that's going to be it for the stream. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It looks like Zyra is probably going to be back. I know a lot of people are going to be excited about that. I know people like Janna too. I will still play some Janna. You know, if we actually get a Draven or a Twitch on my team, I'll definitely play Janna or Lulu. But Zyra might be the new solution to you know, the the Lucians and the Ezreals and the Ashes and all of the all of the janky 80 carries we keep getting. But if we do get, like I said, if we do get, a Caitlyn or maybe Caitlyn. I mean, Zyra's pretty good with Kate too. But definitely if we get Twitch or Draven, we'll still run the Janna or the Lulu. But okay, it looks like everyone's still on Lucian. But yeah, I'm excited. I think this Banshee's Veil, this plus the Eye of the Watchers is pretty prime time. So anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I'll see everybody then. Have a great evening.